Tennis players express themselves in different ways. Some players unleash their inner feelings with ferocious shots on the court, while other players prefer to do it with more style and riz. And for some players, it's with their tattoos. These are the 10 secret meanings of tattoos on tennis players. And we've gotta kick things off with this guy, because he didn't get just any tattoo. He got the entire face of the most important person in his life. Number 8. Dustin Brown, aka Dreddy. You see, Brown is a professional tennis player that burst into the limelight after he annihilated the King of Clay, Rafael Nadal, at the Halle Open and Wimbledon back in 2014. The very next year, the Jamaican caught the eye of fans again in a match against Andy Murray. But this time, it was not just because of his exciting style of play, but also because of the inked face on his torso. Turns out the tattoo was a tribute to Dustin's dad, Leroy Brown. When asked about it, Dreddy spilled the beans and talked about how he'd always dreamed of having a portrait of his old man inked on him, because it's been a very long road for him and his whole family. So when Dreddy finally got the chance to get inked, he jumped right at it without looking back. And while Brown is paying a heartfelt tribute with his tat, this next player used her tats as an inspiration for her comeback. Number 7. Marketa Vondrousova. Just in case you're not familiar with her game, Marketa Vondrousova is mostly known for two major things: her 2023 Wimbledon championship and her tattoos. The Czech tennis champion has a whole array of tattoos on her arms, which are beautiful pieces of art in their own right. But believe it or not, Marketa got her very first tattoo when she was just 16 years old, and she hasn't looked back since. One of the most prominent tattoos on her arm reads, "No rain, no flowers." The idea here is pretty straightforward. Just like how rain is necessary for flowers to bloom, Marketa believes that facing life's difficulties is essential to reach the pinnacle of success. In her world, those hardships are the metaphorical rain that comes before growth of achievement. And when you think about it, it kind of explains why she never hesitates to flaunt her tats on and off the court. Speaking of folks who are obsessed with flaunting their tattoos, we've gotta talk about Number 6. Svetlana Kuznetsova. Just like Marketa, Kuznetsova has a ton of tattoos all over her body, but none is as intense as this masterpiece featuring a majestic pair of angel wings followed by a constellation of stars scattered across her back. Angel wings often symbolize freedom, faith, and protection, and in some cases, it may be a tribute to a loved one. So every time Svetlana steps onto the court, it's kinda like she's got a guardian angel with her. Apart from her gigantic angel tattoo, the two-time Grand Slam winner also has a lot of writing all over her body, including some tattoos in Russian, her initials, and the quote, "Pain doesn't kill me, I kill the pain," on her biceps. And here's where it gets deep. Svetlana got that tattoo right before her knee surgery, which must have felt like 1,000 knives. So it's kinda like a reminder that even when life serves up its worst, she's the one in control. So I guess it's not so difficult to see why the Russian is so obsessed with her tattoos. Now, Svetlana's quote ink game is pretty impressive, but Stan Wawrinka's will blow your mind. Number 5. Stan Wawrinka. As far as the ink gossip goes, it seems like Stan Wawrinka keeps it simple yet meaningful in the tattoo department. In fact, he's only got 2, and one of them is as sweet as Swiss chocolate. It's an image of a tiny hand cradling the name Alexia on his right rib cage. Turns out the Swiss tennis player got the tattoo after his daughter was born back in 2010. And yup, you guessed it, her name is Alexia. Stan's second tattoo is a literary gem. It's a quote from Samuel Beckett's Worst Word, and it says, "Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter, try again. Fail again. Fail better." When Stan was asked about the tattoo back in 2014, the Swiss revealed that he first saw the quote ages ago, but for some reason, it stuck in his mind like glue. Over time, it transformed his outlook on tennis and life itself. You see, to Stan, the meaning behind this quote is unchanging. No matter how well or not so well you do in life, there will always be those moments of disappointment and heartache. But you've got to accept them and stay positive, because in life, wins and losses are just part of the deal. I mean, that's pretty deep, right? For Stan, 2 tattoos might be enough. But that's not the philosophy of the next tennis star on our list. Number 4. Gael Monfils. Gael Monfils made heads turn way back in 2005 when he was crowned the ATP Newcomer of the Year. Throughout the course of his career, the French player has won 11 ATP Tour singles titles and has been runner-up 22 times. And what's even more remarkable is how he consistently made it to at least one ATP Tour singles final every year since his debut. But you see, ATP finals are not the only cards Gael has up his sleeves. He's also got a couple of cool tats up there too. Starting with his playing card tattoo inked on his arm, along with some digits and an infinity symbol. For Gael, the playing card tattoo is the symbol of good luck in life. It's like he's always got his good luck charm handy. On the other hand, the infinity symbol signifies endless possibilities, which is quite fitting for his tennis career. Gael also has a couple of angel wing tats on his other arm, his wrist, and another one on his back. And to think that these are just a few of the tattoos in his tattoo collection. Now, speaking of collections, this list would be incomplete without talking about Nick Kyrgios and his tattoo collection. Number 3. Nick Kyrgios. Everyone knows that Nick has a reputation for being the bad boy of tennis. But what you probably didn't know is that tennis wasn't always Nick's first love, and the Australian has never been shy to admit it. Nick was absolutely obsessed with basketball. Nick's love for basketball ran so deep that he tattooed LeBron James and Kobe Bryant on his forearm. I mean, who needs autographs when you carry the legends themselves right on your arm, right? According to Nick, he just had to get the tattoo because the way Kobe inspired every athlete was something that no other person could do. Who would have thought the tennis bad boy would turn out to be so thoughtful? Anyways, Nick also has a ton of other tats on his body, including a feather, the number 76, which turned out to be a tribute to his grandma, and the sentence, "Time is running out." It's like he's leaving us with so many riddles to solve. And how could I forget? It would be a crime to leave out this gigantic Pokemon he got on his back now, wouldn't it? Looks like Nick wasn't playing when he said he was a huge fan of Pokemon. Now, while Nick loves to go all out with his tattoos, Serena Williams prefers to keep it simple. Number 2. Serena Williams. If you're shocked to find out that your favorite female tennis goat has a tattoo, then you're probably not alone. Because Serena's tattoos are so tiny, it takes a whole new level of attention to even notice them. One of Serena's tattoos is a petite little heart delicately placed on the nape of her neck. This particular tattoo may have caught the attention of some fans. And according to the tennis goat, it's a henna tattoo, which fades after about 3 weeks at the latest. So she always has to reapply henna to maintain it. Serena's second tattoo is a tiny little mysterious flower on her shoulder. Very few people have seen it because it's almost invisible. Now, we're not sure how Serena personally feels about this tattoo in particular, but we do know that it's generally a sign of self-love and beauty. And now that we're down to number 1, we've gotta talk about Carlos Alcaraz's tattoo. Number 1. Carlos Alcaraz. It's no news that Alcaraz has taken over the tennis world, and from the looks of things, this Spanish bad boy is here to stay. The Spanish star took the world by storm when he bagged the 2022 US Open and became the youngest man and the first teenager in the Open era to top the singles rankings at 19 years, 4 months, and 6 days old. Right after his US Open win, Carlos decided that he had to get a tattoo to mark the beginning of his reign. So, the Spanish player went all out and joined the tattoo gang. Now, Carlos didn't just get any tattoo. You see, the tennis star has always talked about how his grandfather always told him to focus on the 3 C's. And by 3 C's, he meant cabeza, corazón, and cojones, which means head, heart, and balls respectively. So to always remember that, Carlos got a tattoo of those exact words on his arm. Now, every time he raises his racket, he's got his 3 C's right there, reminding him that success in tennis requires a good head, a big heart, and of course, some serious balls on the court. So there you have it, folks. Which player's tattoo is your favorite? Let us know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to learn more interesting things about your favorite tennis players.